I'm going to show you how you can save over $300 by using a $2 tire plug to fix your tire. We will also go over what mistakes to avoid when plugging your own tire, when you should replace the tire instead of just fixing it, and where you can get the tire repair kit. And I'm also going to leave you with 4 tips to help preserve the life of your tire so that we don't have to do any of these things in the future. I've been driving on a tire that loses air every 2 to 3 days because, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm pretty lazy. But I'm not so lazy that I would pay $300 to have the tires replaced, so I'm going to fix it and show you how to do it yourself. Step 1. Jack up your car safely. You'll want to make sure that the car is on a level surface. Even just a slight elevation is enough to cause long-term damage and hassle to the process, which we would like to avoid. Next, you'll want to take your lug wrench and loosen the lugs on your car. You want to make sure you do this before jacking up the car. While the jack is great for elevating the car, any sudden shifts in balance can cause the jack to tip over, and a jack is actually not meant to keep your car raised. For that, we would use a jack stand. Next, this part's going to differ from car to car, but look for the metal part that has been welded together to serve as a point of reinforcement to use to jack the car up. Be patient and make sure that this part of the car is secure. Once you raise the car high enough to remove the tire, jack it up another inch or two, which will make it easier to put the tire back on once it's been filled with air. Step 2. Find the leak. If you're lucky, the location of the leak is caused by some sharp object that you can see with your eyes. If not, another easy way to find out where the leak is coming from is using soap and water. Similar to what happens if you blow into a glass with a straw, the leaking part of the tire will start to bubble up. I keep pliers in my trunk as a way to pull out any debris that might be in the tire, but if you don't have one, that's okay. You can technically just push that item further into the tire. I would recommend not making a habit out of this, but if you're in a tight situation and you just don't have pliers, this is better than any alternative. But just make sure you get pliers for next time. Step 3. Make the hole bigger. This sounds counterintuitive, but you'll want to use this tool that comes with the tire repair kit that makes the hole bigger. You'll see why in a minute. The tool comes with a sharp point that's great for clearing the way into the hole and has spikes that go all around it to make it easy to make the hole more holy. I find that it works best to work from different angles. Step 4. Fill the hole. This part is hard to do without the pliers, but it's not impossible. I've done it before. I like to flatten the plug on one side just to make it easier to thread it into the insert tool. Next, I'll apply some rubber cement on the plug, and then I'll use the insert tool to try and put the plug in about halfway. It does take a little bit of force to get it in, and I've found that using my body weight is easier than trying to use my muscles. But keep this in mind. If it goes in easily, it'll come out easily. At this point, all that's left to do is to pull the insert tool out. I like to do this as fast as possible to make sure that I'm not pulling the plug out too. The rest of the steps just cover putting air into your tire and securely reattaching it back to your car. Thankfully, I have an air compressor that uses my car charger to fill my tire. If you don't have one of these, you can put your spare tire on and use the air from your nearest gas station. That's what I've done in the past. You can pick up everything I just mentioned, including the tire repair kit, jacks, the air compressor, all of that good stuff down below. And if you're thinking to yourself that you can't afford these tools right now, or that you don't want to do it yourself and you'd rather pay someone more money to do it, that's where IvyCard, the sponsor for today's video, comes in. IvyCard is a great way for gig workers who need some extra cash to support their business. Here's how IvyCard works. Step 1, get approved. It doesn't even affect your credit score and it's very fast. I tried it myself and they got back to me in less than 24 hours. Accept the amount of funding that you want and then set up a repayment schedule. Once all of that is set up, you'll be sent a physical card, but you'll also receive a digital card so that you can start using it immediately. What I love the most about the IvyCard is that they specifically cater to gig workers, which includes Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, and you get the point. In a world where financial institutions make it so much harder to get financial help when you're in this line of work. Trust me, I've been there too. They also understand the importance of speed. Look, nobody plans to have a flat tire, and with gas prices making it so much harder to control our expenses, IvyCard provides a way to get a $100 advance to give you some extra cushion when things are just getting a little too tight. We've even worked it out to where the first 100 approved users gets free cash advances on the IvyCard forever. Be sure to check it out, it's going to be in the description below. Now that I've shown you how to plug your own tire, I want to double down on why you should be plugging your own tire rather than just getting 2 new ones. options. And we'll also cover ways to make your tire last longer. In most cases, consumerreport.org agrees that when changing your tire, it's best to change 2 tires at a time. Usually the 2 front tires will wear down faster than your back tires, since that's where most of the car's weight is, and that's where most cars get their power from. That's why the term front wheel drive exists. And even if your car isn't a front wheel drive, the front 2 tire, if that's where the engine is, will still wear down faster than your back 2 tires. With the average price of not just buying a tire, but also paying for the mechanic to install the tire, balance the tire, and to rotate the tire, which any good mechanic should do, it'll still run you $150 for 1 tire. Doing 2 tires will cost you $300, and 4 tires will cost you $600. Now, tires aren't supposed to last forever. That's because at some point the rubber will deteriorate, and that's okay and also expected. But if you're buying a new tire every time something punctures your current tire, you're just throwing money out of the window.
We don't do that here.
But for times where you legitimately need to replace your tire, here's what to look for. Tread bars. All tires sold in the United States have tread wear bars. As your tires wear, these bars become flush with the thread. When the tires are even with the thread, that means that it's time to change your tire. It needs to be replaced immediately. Uneven wear and tear. Sometimes wheel alignments will go out of whack. It happens. When it does, it causes tires to wear unevenly, which also results in them being worn faster. Your tread bars might show signs that tire doesn't need to be replaced, but if the tire is wearing down in places where the tread bar doesn't exist, it's probably in your best interest to get a new tire. You can't plug that. There's no plugging worn tires. Always be sure to check for bulging on the sidewall. The sidewall is the tire surface outside the rim that faces you when the car is parked. A bulge indicates that the rigid internal frame of the tire has been damaged or cracked, and that allows air pressure to reach the flexible outer layer of the tire. Any tires with sidewall bulges should be replaced immediately. Tires in that situation can explode. I've had it happen to me too. I got some bad used tires. Don't buy used tires. Just stay away from used tires. Fix it yourself or make sure it's brand new. Now that we know what to look for when trying to determine if it's time to get new tires, here's 4 things that you can do to prevent your car from even needing new tires in the first place. Check your tire air pressure monthly. The easiest way to extend the life of a tire is to maintain the correct air pressure. This is a great way to save on gas too. You can find the recommended amount of tire pressure for your car on your driver door panel. Get your tires rotated every 5,000 miles. Tire rotations help to extend the life of your tire by moving the tires that see the most wear and tear, typically the front tire, to the axle that sees the least wear and tear, typically the back tires. If you rotate your tires at even intervals, then the tires will wear at similar rates unless you don't follow the next tip. Get your wheels balanced. Tires aren't made perfectly. Sometimes the tire or the wheel itself will have a heavy spot, and this can even happen on brand new tires. If you find that your steering wheel is vibrating while you drive, that means that your tires need to be balanced, as the vibration can cause uneven wear and tear to your tire. And finally, check your alignment twice a year. If your car actively pulls or drifts to the left or to the right while steering, or it vibrates, or it shakes, your car may have an alignment problem. The smallest misalignment can reduce fuel efficiency and increase tread wear on your tire. It increases tread wear by putting more pressure on the inner or outer part of the tire. If anything I've said today has helped you save some money, make sure you share this video with a friend. I'm sure they will appreciate the value you got from this video, and I hope that this next video helps you too.
Making that money.